Bula.
Bonjour.
Kumusta?
Selamat siang.
Moin moin.
Salam.
สวัสดีครับ
Hola.
Salut.
Saik.
Namaste.
Haisa.
Aloha.
Mabuhay.
Hiya.
Seal.
Kaiso.
Hey.
Ciao.
Saluton.
Konnichiwa.
Assalamu alaikum.
Ni hao.
Hello.
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 안녕하세요.
Hello and welcome to the third in Gyeongju University's What is Language series. Today we have Professor Bob Steaves here to talk with us, and as always the first question for Professor Steaves, first welcome, and the question for you today is, what is language? What do you think about language within the human experience?
Wow, big question, and I think according to one of my professors that I admire a lot, Dr. Spencer Wells, language is about 50 to 60,000 years old. And when man started to develop language, he started to move out of Africa. He learned how to make tools. There was this big expanse in human knowledge as soon as we invented language as a people. And so language gave us the ability to move out of Africa, to hunt in a very cold climate like in Europe, or to raise crops like in China. And so man moved to all these parts of the world from that particular point in Africa.
Your view is that language is this tool. It's this tool that we can pick up and use.
Absolutely. Language gives us the ability to make other tools. Well, how do I take this piece of bone and wrap it and put it with muscle tissue and make this bow thing that shoots arrows? And now I can hunt better because I don't have to be so close to throw a spear. And so, and how can I shape this piece of stone to make it sharp to cut into the animal? So it's a tool to use to make other tools.
So how do you implement this philosophy into your classroom? Do you approach language as a tool in a classroom setting?
It has to be a tool, and what I specify is that students be able to communicate. Now, we've gone and added a lot of other things to language. We've added grammar and spelling, and we've, correct word order, and verbs and nouns and pronouns and prepositions. We've taken something very simple like 3 plus 4 equals 7, and now we're doing the cube roots of numbers, and we're doing the curve, finding the curve of the slope of the lines and things like that with calculus, and we're doing that with language, making it much more complicated. But when we first learn language, we don't have all that knowledge. The example is that this little boy is playing in this room by himself, and all of a sudden his mother walks into the room and he looks up and says, "Mommy, cookie." Perfect communication, not perfect grammar, no spelling there, because he doesn't know how to spell anyways, and he didn't get the word order quite right and the right verbs, but the communication was there. Now in the classroom, if I can get my students to communicate like that little boy, pretty soon they will grow into adding verbs and adding the correct word order. And pretty soon, instead of "Mommy, cookie," it's "Mommy, I want a cookie." And Mommy's life gets difficult from there on.
All right, last questions for you, Professor Steaves. What is your favorite language?
Oh, my favorite language. I've lived in China for 5 years. Learning Chinese was a very interesting experience. It has to be Chinese.
All right, favorite Chinese word?
Favorite Chinese word. The most important word in Chinese, I can't say. And in English, that's the word for toilet.
Good word.
And it's caused me undoubted pain and embarrassment from time to time trying to find a restroom in China. I've tried to say it, but nobody understands me, and somehow my tongue is too old to make those sounds perfectly of the Chinese language. And so I've learned to say "Si shou dian" instead. wash hand room, and I can get by with that.
So what is the word? What is the...
Oh, the Chinese word is tu so, but nobody understands it.
All right. What's your favorite English word?
Oh, my favorite English word. Well, being in my age, and I kind of like food and dinner time. that brings bells to my ears, and I enjoy eating a lot. So we are what we speak and what we talk about, and I know learning Chinese words for food was easier than learning other words. So it must be I got food on the brain up here.
All right. Well, it's almost lunchtime here, so we're going to wrap it up there. You can check back on our YouTube page in a week or so for part 4 in our language series. Thank you and goodbye.